Hey there, Michael Plishka from ZenStoring.com. We're going to talk a little bit about divergent thinking and convergent thinking and how you can use divergent thinking to solve problems, to get a better handle on the situation that you're in. We're going to use here as an analogy the goalie and the goal analogy. Here's the goal in a sport, and here's a goalie depicted as a brick wall. Now, having played goalie for most of my life in both soccer and hockey, I can tell you that what goalies like to do is position themselves such that as the players converge on the goal, they see less and less of the goal and more of the goalie. And as you can see here, you can't see almost any of the goal, and all you can see is the goalie. That's ideal for the goalie. That's not ideal for us, because we're talking about we want to get the solutions. So what do? We diverge. We pull away. And as you pull away, look at that. Now all of a sudden you can see so much more of the net. You can actually see the goal. You can see where you're going. You can see more of your problems. Sometimes you need to pull away to be able to see better what's going on. And that's the divergent part of it. Another way to be divergent is to grow. And when you grow, you see much more of the net, and again, you see more of the overall situation. You see the landscape, you see your obstruction, and you see everything in a different light when you grow. What does it mean to grow? It means basically that your team is greater than the sum of its parts. You've connected on a mental, a psychological, you guys are just clicking on all cylinders as a team. That's being more than the sum of your parts. You have multiple diverse points of view coming together. You have all this different give and take and all these different perspectives. That's what makes your team grow. And when you do that, that's another way of diverging and actually getting, putting yourself in a situation where you can see the goal that much better. One other thing to keep in mind here, it kind of goes without saying, but it's something that needs to be stated, is that often what happens is, for people who are in charge of the obstacles, or at least have power over the obstacles, they have a tendency, once the project gets into the thick of it, to get really involved, and sometimes can actually make the obstruction worse as opposed to smaller. And when that happens, budget constraints come in, timelines come in, all these other things come in. They really need to realize, whether it's management or other people or systems within the company, whatever, when you're in that type of a situation, you really need to be cognizant of the problems, because otherwise your team really needs to stretch itself to be able to have a shot at that goal. And you don't want to put yourself in that situation. It just doesn't make sense. So the better way to do it is, if you have control over it, shrink your obstacles a little bit. Get them out of your way. And when you can do that, then the good news is that it makes it that much easier for your team to essentially trample them underfoot and get to your goal. So, again, some thoughts here on divergent thinking. Let me know what you think about it. Would love to hear your thoughts. Have a great one. This is Plish from ZenStoring.com.